Good morning, virtual book lovers. How's everybody doing today? We continue to read from Simple Abundance, and we are on January 17th entry. It says, Harmony, achieving balance in our lives. The notes I handle no better than many pianists, but the pauses between the notes, that is where the art resides. That was written by Arthur Schnabel. A Chopin piano nocturne played by a novice musician and by a virtuoso will not sound the same. That's because one of the two pianists has had a lifetime to practice the music, as well as learn when to pause in order to color the notes with passion. So it is with a concerto of our lives. Individual notes must be learned and played and practiced before we achieve harmony. And above all, we must learn how to pause. Harmony is the inner cadence of contentment we feel when the melody of life is in tune. When somehow we're able to strike the right chord, to balance the expectation of our families and our responsibilities in the world, but on the other hand, with our inner needs for spiritual growth and personal expression. This is one of the most difficult challenges any woman faces because it requires that we must make choices every day. And yet most of us often feel too tired to choose anything more than what's going to be for dinner. Perhaps this explains why we often hear only a cacophony of dissonant demands that drown out the symphonies our souls long to compose. Usually, when the distractions of life deplete our energy, the first thing we eliminate is the thing that we need the most: quiet, reflective time. Time to dream, time to think, time to contemplate what's working and what's not, so that we can make changes for the better. On the Simple Abundance path, we begin to learn how to pause. As we bring the principles of gratitude, simplicity, and order into our lives, harmony emerges. We learn to balance demands with pleasures, moments of solitude with the need of companionship, work with play, activity with rest, the inner woman with the outer packaging. Today, just try slowing down. Approach the day as if it was a adago, a melody played in an easy, graceful manner. Listen to music that soothes and uplifts your soul. And while you listen, pause to consider how all the individual notes come together harmoniously to give expression to the entire score. So it shall be with your world. With harmony as your guide, trust that everyday moments will soon begin to resonate in a rhapsody of fulfillment. I've heard that expression before. I've read several things of Dr. Wayne Dwyer, and he has said that many times that it's the pauses between the notes that make the music. If you just kept pushing the keys on a piano, all you're going to get is this big, loud sound. It's not going to be music. But when we pause and take that moment between the notes, then we create this beautiful harmony. So it's really important for us to take pauses in our life. Meditate. Meditation doesn't have to be sitting in an hour. I will tell you this. When I first started on this path, I was taking a Reiki course. And my Reiki teacher came in and she was saying, oh yeah, I meditated for like 3 hours yesterday. And I was like, oh dude, I better get out of this class right now, because if that's what it requires, 3 hours of meditation, there's no way. Like, there's not enough time in my life for this. But what I learned very quickly is that that was her version of the pause. And she had that time, and that's what filled her up. But for me, I didn't need to do 3 hours of meditation. Meditation can be as simple as 5 to 10 minutes. It really can be. And you can get so much benefit out of it. But it's the consistency of doing that, that building up of doing that every day, that really brings you peace and pause. Because when we're running around, you know, again, for me, it's about following those breadcrumbs. It's about following that inner guiding spirit. Well, you can't hear that inner guiding spirit if you're running around all the time with it like a chicken with your head cut off, when you're burning the candle at both ends and in the middle. It's only when you pause that you are able to hear your guiding spirit, that longing in your body, that longing in your heart, that desire in your gut, that you know, these things that you want to achieve in your life, these places you want to go. Those are the times when you hear the voice, that guidance, very strong. And listen, meditation is just a word, okay? What that looks like to you may be very different than what it looks like to me. You know, I always say that a lot of times people are speaking the same language, but they don't realize they're speaking the same language because we're using different adjectives to describe something. So maybe meditation is prayer for you. I mean, really, if you think about the principle of being in quiet reflection and being in gratitude and having a conversation with your, you know, divine guiding spirit, well, isn't that meditation? We just call it something different. But truly, at the core of it, it's the same thing. So what does that look like for you? What do the pauses in your life look like for you? And if you don't have pauses in your life, then what are you going to do to create a pause in your life? Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day. Especially, it's great if you can do it in the morning, but again, everybody has their own rhythm of their life. I just find it most beneficial in the morning. It sets the tone for my day. It gets my mind right for the day. Not to say that I can't do it in the middle of the afternoon. I've been known to do that, especially on particularly stressful days. That's why I try to keep these videos extremely short. You know, I know everybody has a short period of time in this crazy world to take those pauses. So I'd love to hear what you're doing for yourself, how you take a moment to pause each day. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.